surge in Saskatoon's mosquito population. How long will people need to keep swatting away the pests? A recycling reminder, the problem the city says is piling up. And a Saskatchewan First Nation hosts some special guests.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. Saskatoon's 3 residential recycling depots are filling up faster than usual. That's prompting the city to put out a reminder to do their part to prevent them from piling up. CTV's Laura Woodward has that story.
These bins at the Lakewood Recycling Depot are filling up fast. And it's not just here. All 3 of Saskatoon's residential depots are seeing more waste than usual.
Residents are frustrated. Part of it is they're frustrated that there's a mess at the depot, which is in the middle of their community, and they don't want the depots looking this bad. Part of it is it's been a regular occurrence this summer that when they go to the depots are full, and there's nowhere for them to put their cardboard when they want to recycle it. We've got City Council next week. I'm going to be asking the administration for an update.
The city says there are a number of reasons for the increased demand, including businesses using the bins.
We're also seeing a lot of materials not accepted at the recycling depots, so garbage, furniture, mattresses, that kind of thing. So we're always encouraging people to go to the landfill and the material recovery center if they have those materials and not leaving them at our depots for our staff to clean up. It slows down our collections.
To address the increase in demand, the city says pickup at the depots is increasing.
Currently, we collect at the depots 4 times a week. We're going to up that over the summer months temporarily just to 6 days a week, just so we have some extra capacity in the recycling bins.
The city says residents can help make more room by flattening cardboard and only dropping off accepted items. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A Martinsville company has been charged after a Saskatoon overpass was struck and damaged earlier this year. Keeley Contracting Limited is facing 2 traffic bylaw offenses in connection to a collision that saw a large vehicle strike the railway overpass on Circle Drive and 108th Street on March 22nd. Both the driver and the company have been charged with operating a vehicle in a manner that causes damage to city infrastructure. The overpass at 108th Street is one of a handful of overpasses struck in March. A Regina company and its driver was also charged under the traffic bylaw in connection to the overpass that was hit along Highway 11 at the south end of Saskatoon. The city has been trying to recoup some of the costs of fixing all of the damaged infrastructure. The reopening of the Harry Bailey Aquatic Centre in Saskatoon has been delayed. The pool has been closed since 2023 for renovations, with the centre expected to reopen in the fall. But today, the city said deficiencies were identified during the inspection and testing of the pool, which need to be fixed before the pool can be tiled and finished. The facility is now expected to be reopened sometime in the winter, but an exact date has not been determined. Swatting away clouds of mosquitoes has become common across much of the province this summer. Keenan Storicon reports on an update on a busy year that's shaping up to be for the irritating pest.
That's become the soundtrack of summer in Saskatoon. It seems no matter where you go, mosquitoes will follow. And it's not just you.
It's definitely higher than what we had this time last year and our 10-year average.
After years of drought, the buzzing bugs are back. At the start of the month, bug traps around the city were catching about 3.5 mosquitoes on average, slightly more than last year. Counts more than tripled the following week, but was still less than last year and the 10-year average. But plenty of rain followed by extreme heat sent the mosquito population surging. By the end of last week, the same traps were catching 168 mosquitoes, which is about 14 times higher than normal.
It surpassed what we had last year when we had our highest mosquito peak.
Antoki Krihan says eliminating standing water is your best defense at stopping mosquitoes from breeding. But there's little to be done when the weather takes over.
When we get the 30 degrees out there, mosquitoes can finish going from egg to an adult in as quickly as a week.
Searching for elusive bug spray has become a challenge for many.
I just have like one left and I'm losing my patience with it. There's a lot of bugs. It's annoying.
I always try to wear bug spray when I'm not working, and I can't find any more.
People have taken to social media to crowdsource stores with the latest available stock. Some stores are selling out days after shipments arrive.
Mosquitoes just came in by the dozens, so it's very noticeable.
I mean, I work at a car wash and it's super wet there, so all the mosquitoes are in there and I get eaten alive there, so it's not too fun.
Antoki Krihan says this week's numbers aren't as bad as last week's, but Wednesday's rain and Thursday's 30-degree high could change that quickly. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
And then I would put the other.
A new batch of weaker tornadoes have added to Saskatchewan's total so far this year. Data from the Northern Tornadoes Project shows 11 tornadoes touched down on July 10th, ranging in strength from EF0 to EF1 plus a downburst. Another 7 touched down the following day in areas north of the Battlefords, also ranging in strength from EF0 to EF1. That's a weekend total of 18 tornadoes to date. Based on damage reports from NTP, most of the newly added tornadoes mainly damaged trees, grain bins, outbuildings, and farmyards. Saskatchewan's 2026 tornado count now sits at 34. The city of Saskatoon is extending the hours of public spray pads for the next few days. The city says they will remain open from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. daily until Monday. The move is part of Saskatoon's extreme heat and air quality emergency response plan. It comes as the highs are expected to be into the 30s over the next few days. Hot it will be, Jeff.
Exactly. It was so hot, my sweaty hands dropped the clicker. I'm sure you heard it.
Ew.
It clunked on the floor.
I did hear. I didn't know what was going on.
Exactly. Well, all's well that ends well. I wanted to have the clicker. Usually at this point in the program, I only show you one screen, the radar. But there's not a lot going on the radar, with the exception of the far north. The rest of it is just ground clutter. But I wanted to bring up this next map just to give you an indication of the large area of northern Saskatchewan, basically north of Meadow Lake up towards Key Lake and Cree Lake over towards Reindeer Lake. We have some severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, and then some severe thunderstorm watch boxes that extend from Alberta into Saskatchewan. Of course, heat warnings down in the southwest. So we'll talk more about the heat, the thunderstorms, and the forecast later on.
The inquest into the death of a man who died following a confrontation with Prince Albert Police heard from a weapons expert today. Jasmine Pelche on the testimony on day 4 of this inquest.
The family of Bowden Umperville is growing frustrated with the proceedings on day 4 of the inquest into the 2023 arrest that led to his death. Family member Chase Sinclair would like to see more civilian involvement in serious incident response team investigations.
If we don't have the experience to say this, and that with respect to investigating situations, at least have the same amount of number of civilians present in the room while doing the investigation.
Weapons experts from the Saskatoon Police Service spoke about the tasers used by Prince Albert Police and the gun found on Umperville during the traffic stop that quickly turned into an arrest. According to expert testimony, the taser deployments occurred while Umperville was seated inside the vehicle. During their testimonies earlier this week, multiple officers maintained that he continued to resist throughout the arrest. The firearms expert said something he'd never seen before was that a taser probe was found stuck in the magazine well of the firearm that was found holstered to Umperville's chest. He said the gun had the capacity to fire 11 bullets and Umperville was not legally permitted to carry. A knife found attached to Umperville was also removed. The advanced care paramedic who responded to the call from Prince Albert Police also testified. He says a call came in for a patient who had been tased and bitten by a dog about 12 minutes after the police first initiated the traffic stop. The EMS responder testified that he believed Umperville was still resisting arrest at the paramedics' arrival. At this point, both weapons found attached to Umperville's person had been removed. When EMS placed Umperville on a stretcher and brought him to the ambulance, Umperville was without a pulse. Police removed his handcuffs to assist EMS with CPR in the back of the ambulance. Umperville would remain on life support for weeks. The serious incident response team ruled Umperville's death as cardiac arrest caused by cocaine and positional asphyxia. The inquest is scheduled to end Friday. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Concerns are being expressed about changes to the Saskatchewan Assured Income for Disability program. The government is streamlining benefit categories, promising modest increases, but some recipients feel it still won't be enough. Wayne Mantika reports.
Despite the fact that I had...
Charmaine Hart says being unsaid is a struggle.
I feel I'm being treated unfairly, disrespected, put down, medically, emotionally, and financially abused.
She says errors are made and you can't get through to social services for help.
I have to fight for basic necessities. I can never reach my workers, and when I call, no one picks up, and you leave a message, but they never get back to you.
Earlier this summer, the provincial government promised to streamline the program, modestly increase benefits for 40% of clients, and answer the phone.
Complexity of the application process, the sheer number of benefits that were available, and some of the inconsistencies.
The NDP questioned the plan.
This is extreme poverty that people are being asked to live in, and constant duress from a program that is not supporting them.
Advocacy groups say said benefits have fallen too far behind.
The depth of poverty is a big problem, and that's very much directly connected to having very low SED rates and SIS rates, which fall thousands of dollars a year, not only below the poverty line, but even thousands of dollars below the deep poverty measure.
Some Saskatchewan residents are struggling to make ends meet, and perhaps no one more so than those living on disability and social assistance benefits. Modest increases in the rates will be of some assistance, although concerns remain that many will continue to live in poverty. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
A Saskatchewan First Nation is hosting Tibetan monks from across the world for a week of healing ceremonies and cultural exchange. CTV's Stacey Hine brings us that story from the Aquatic Cree Nation.
Chants echo through Aquatic Cree Nation as Tibetan monks offer healing to a hurting community.
And we invited them for healing, because socially we have a lot of addiction problems. There seems to be a social breakdown, I'll say.
Alex Ahenakew met Gishi Yongdong 15 years ago. Since then, the Tibetan monk has built a close bond with the community.
They adopted me and gave me a name, and then after that, I always want to support.
Yongdong was recently inspired to organize the visit with his fellow monks. Many of them are visiting Canada and a First Nation community for the first time. Over the course of the week, they're offering blessings, prayers, and healing ceremonies.
I did a lot of the healing sessions, and it was rejuvenating.
Naomi Williams says, as a frontline worker, the visit has been meaningful.
A lot of our people face trauma and hurt, and for them to come into our community and bless our community and help them heal, I think, it is needed for our people.
The visit also gives the monks a chance to experience Cree culture firsthand, including an invitation to a powwow.
They could see the people with all the regalia up and how the community and how we gather as a nation and all that.
As they share their cultures, they're also finding common ground.
There's so many similarities, just different language.
They do a lot of fasting. They offer prayer cloth. They do a lot of ceremonies. And it's very, very similar to ours.
Yongdong says he hopes the visit leaves a lasting impact.
My hope is change whole energy, change their life, become better way.
For those here, the hope is the healing continues long after the monks head home. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Aquatic Cree Nation.
A new group in Saskatchewan is focused on promoting and teaching water safety. Mick Favel on the life-saving lessons it's offering.
Sophia Soden is putting on her life jacket, about to head on to Echo Lake. She is a part of a new group focused on promoting boating and water safety.
We can answer any questions that people don't know, and especially for the boats. Like, lots of people don't think of the things you need on your boat. Like, lots of people just bring life jackets. They don't think you need a whistle or a flashlight.
The program is a new addition to the Amphibious Response Support Unit 1. The safety group is equipped to handle a number of challenges on the water and says seconds and minutes are critical during an emergency.
The sooner we can get that victim out of the water and to shore and administer first aid and get them the help that they need on dry land, the better chances they actually have for survival.
This week is National Drowning Prevention Week. According to the most recent data, Saskatchewan averages 24 fatal drownings per year. The Response Support Unit stresses the importance of wearing a personal flotation device to everyone they speak to.
That's probably the biggest thing you can do for your safety is wear a PFD. The other thing is, do a sail plan. Talk to people where you're going. Take care of your equipment. And, having a drink's great, but do that on shore. Don't drink and drive when you're on your water.
The Boating Safety Advisory Program do not give out tickets, but instead try to help the public through education and the importance of various items, which by law are needed on board.
We have a little checklist, make sure you have everything, and then so if you were to be stopped by a conservation officer, you have everything, you will not get a ticket, because I'm pretty sure the ticket's around $100 to $200 minimum.
The boating safety program will be on the beach and the water as the weather permits. Mick Favel, CTV News, Echo Lake.
The fight against the spread of Dutch elm disease in Prince Albert continues with a protective treatment being applied to trees in Kinsman Park. Living Tree Environmental is injecting a systemic fungicide, which then moves into the tree's new growth to help protect against Dutch elm disease. The city performed surveillance surveys earlier in the summer, including a canopy scan of all elm trees in the city to identify hazardous or infected trees. The company expects to be finished by tomorrow afternoon. The city of Prince Albert says it plans to expand the treatments to more trees next year. A Saskatchewan sculptor whose work has been showcased in several communities, including Saskatoon, has died. Douglas Bentham was born in Rosetown and went on to earn a BA advanced degree in painting from the University of Saskatchewan and also received an MFA in sculpture. He spent years living and working on his pieces on rural properties near Saskatoon. Some of the most notable pieces in the city include the sculpture at the bottom of the University Bridge. He also had installments near Saskatoon City Hall. Douglas Bentham died on Monday. He was 79. A string of country music stars will be performing when the Canadian Country Music Awards roll into town later this year. The Canadian Country Music Association has announced the lineup for the 2026 CCMA Legends Show on September 17th at the Sid Buchwald Theatre in TCU Place. The show is part of Country Music Week and will feature performances by Tenille Arts, Patricia Conroy, George Fox, the Hunter Brothers, Brett Kissel, Kelsey Kulik, Jason McCoy, Michelle Wright, among others. This year, the CCMA is celebrating 50 years. The awards will be handed out on September 19th at Sastel Centre. Tickets for the Legends Show are on sale now. Still to come, hope a Calgary boy can be found. Also, a major bust said to take a big bite out of cross-border crime. You're watching CTV News Live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. The Prime Minister says everything is on the table and is promising to do whatever it takes to deal with U.S. President Donald Trump's latest plans to impose what Mark Carney called unilateral and unwarranted 50% tariffs. It comes as the Prime Minister sat face-to-face with Canada's provincial and territorial leaders today in Charlottetown, demanding Ottawa outline a plan to negotiate. CTV's Rachel Ayala with what came out of the high-stakes sit-down.
Under pressure to plot Canada's path through the latest escalation of the trade war with the United States, Prime Minister Mark Carney met with premiers today to strategize.
Canadian governments around this table will do whatever it takes to defend and support our families, our workers, and our businesses.
Morning. Provincial and territorial leaders went into the meeting wanting the Canadian government to articulate how they intend to get the Americans to the table.
With a strong plan, Team Canada, led by the Prime Minister.
And what happens if he doesn't have a strong plan today?
Well, I don't expect him to have the T's crossed and I's dotted, but it's a Team Canada approach led by the Prime Minister.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and Chief Negotiator Janice Charette joined today's talks. And hours later, First Ministers emerged united and with new resolve.
We're ready. We're ready because we've been focusing on what we can control. And that's building our strength at home.
As the clock ticks towards U.S. President Donald Trump's new tariffs coming into effect, Carney said he sees the current deadline as both a potential endgame, but also just another pressure tactic.
Everything's on the table if there's no agreement, depending on the outcome of the negotiations.
And premiers, while initially differing on retaliation, agreed the best outcome would be to get a comprehensive deal that provides relief for the full range of tariff-affected sectors.
97% of our goods cross the border without tariffs, but we'd like it to be 100%. And we'd like it to be the same way for the rest of the country as well.
The Prime Minister was also pressed to keep provinces in the loop as negotiations intensify.
Canada's at its best when provinces and territories and the federal government work together.
Carney and the premiers also agreed to keep up efforts to strengthen the domestic economy, to reduce Canada's reliance on the United States long term, from breaking down even more interprovincial trade barriers to building more major energy projects. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Charlottetown. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is hitting Canada and dozens of other countries with yet more tariffs. These ones are related to forced labor in supply chains. The new duties on more than 60 nations were announced today. Canada, Mexico, and the UK are among the countries receiving a 10% tariff, while other nations are seeing a 12.5% levy threat. It's not immediately clear if there is an exemption for goods compliant under the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement. A joint investigation by police in southern Ontario has put a dent in a massive cross-border drug trafficking operation. 1.7 tons of illegal drugs were seized along with military-grade guns. CTV's Judy Trin has more on how the investigation began and where it could lead.
A small mountain of illegal drugs weighing 1.7 tons, most of it cocaine and methamphetamine, seized during an investigation nicknamed Project Bay, which began in Windsor 18 months earlier.
The drugs in this room are not ending up in the hands of our community's vulnerable population. The firearms in this room are not sowing chaos in our communities.
Displayed in front of the hundreds of packages, the jarring visual of a weapon of war, an anti-tank gun, among the recovered firearms. Investigators say transnational crime groups are involved.
Investigators identified a network coordinating the movement and distribution of large quantities of drugs through otherwise legitimate supply chains. This included coordinating shipments and arranging drivers to knowingly transport concealed drugs within commercial loads.
Police say brokers were used to smuggle drugs in transport trucks and that illegal drugs worth $139 million have been taken off the streets, most of it intercepted at the border in May and June.
Border Services officers intercepted over 1.1 tons of drugs that criminal groups were attempting to smuggle across the border. We shared vital intelligence and surveillance information with our partners.
10 law enforcement agencies worked together on Project Bay, from Ontario Provincial Police to local police in Windsor and the Toronto area, along with the RCMP, U.S. Homeland Security, and the Drug Enforcement Agency. Investigators say the shipments originated in the southwestern United States and are likely connected to Mexican cartels.
Logically, Mexico is a well-known transshipment point with drug cartels.
Police have arrested 19 people in connection with Project Bay. 2 other suspects are on the run. Investigators emphasize that they have not dismantled a drug network, but have put a dent in the supply. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Manitoba RCMP say a body found in a lake in a provincial park last night is that of a 10-year-old boy who was swept into the water on Saturday. Police read a statement from his family this afternoon.
We're going through a terrible, horrible, and unimaginable pain for our children. What we've gone through is not humanly possible to understand. We're surviving only because of the help of those around us.
Police and volunteers are still searching the water for the boy's 13-year-old brother. Police believe 10-year-old Maximo Oramas fell into the lake and his brother Aaron jumped in to save him. Police say Maximo's body was found by a boater. It's been 1 week since an 11-year-old Calgary boy was last seen, and police say there is still belief Parker Wells can be found alive, and efforts to find him are not being scaled back.
These cabinets are plenty big enough for a small person to hide, especially if they don't have shelves inside. Any bins you may have that store water, garbage, or recycling. Take a couple seconds and have a quick look.
Calgary police posting a video showing possible hiding spots that residents should check on their property. That includes hot tubs under decks and inside sheds. Parker was last seen last Thursday afternoon. He was shirtless with dark shorts and black headphones. He is autistic and nonverbal, so police are advising the public if they see him to call them immediately and not to approach him as he might be scared. Oil price volatility has put Canada's supply in sharper focus. Today, we got a sense of what's at stake for a new pipeline from Alberta to the West Coast when CTV News spoke to the CEO of Trans Mountain, the Crown Corporation that would run it. CTV's Michael Couture on what he had to say.
I certainly think it can be built. We already have built something like it.
The CEO of Trans Mountain believes the newly proposed pipeline can and will be built.
We were talking about the possibility of another pipeline.
In an exclusive interview with CTV News, Mark Mackey suggested the cost would be similar to the first pipeline, which was $34 billion. But he says there is a very compelling case for a new pipeline from Alberta to BC's coast.
This one is a little longer, a little bigger, more capacity than what Trans Mountain built before. But I think it's very necessary in the global context that we live in today.
The federal and provincial governments are investing in the project with the help of the Crown Corporation that Mackey heads up. Pembina Pipeline Corp has also agreed to a potential 10% stake. Prime Minister Mark Carney has also referred the pipeline to the Federal Major Projects Office for approval. Carney has pointed to the federally owned Trans Mountain pipeline as an example of a project that is working, and Mackey agrees.
We paid $1.7 billion into the Treasury last year in dividends and interest. We'll beat that this year. You'll probably reinvest some capital in the years thereafter. This is going to be a very profitable investment for the country, the legacy Trans Mountain. I expect the new system to be the same. And the overall economic impact that system will enable is ginormous to the country.
Asked if he believes if the federal government should sell the pipeline that it already owns, Mackey said Canada should hold on to it, adding it's far too strategic to the country. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Hello, I'm Danielle. And I'm Denova, and we're from 2B's Production. And we're doing a little show at the Fringe Festival called Crossroads. It's 4 mini plays with a plethora of characters. If you'd like some tickets, go to 25thstreettheater.org. Spend that dough on our show. Now, what's the weather like?
Well, it's non-smoking weather, so it's good you got those birthday candles lit up and rocking. Those are quite the heaters. We can tell you that for your show, your first performance, I believe, is coming up on Bing Bong. That's right, Friday, January 31st, 6 p.m. at the Refinery. And looks like it's going to be a hot day. Now, there's 40% chance of showers. Likely that's going to be earlier in the day, so when it comes time to showtime, people shouldn't be kept away by any kind of rain. Once again, 25thstreettheater.org is the website to go to for all your Fringe information, in particular, the Crossroads show. All right, now let's take a look at our numbers for today. Saskatoon's daytime, or rather current temperature, 28 degrees. In fact, it's 28 in Prince Albert as well, 26 in the Battlefords, and the winds are on the moderate side in all 3 locations. Saskatoon's high today, it was warm, 30 degrees, 25 is typical for this time of July, 34 though, that was the record set in 1931, and the record cold temperature from 1946, that was 3 degrees, and the sun is going to go down at 11 minutes after 9.
Coming up, roller coaster reno. We'll look at the twists and turns of a tweaked ride.
Saskatchewan sawmill curtailing operations is raising concern. Friday on Your Morning Saskatchewan, we are learning more about the potential economic impact to the area around Big River Sawmill.
All right, let's take a look through the live lens of Skycam, and you can see some people out in the South Saskatchewan plogging the waters of the river, and it looks like it's a paddle boarder and maybe some actual canoeists. So yes, making good use of the South Saskatchewan now that the sort of the warnings in terms of the speed and velocity of the river has gone down. You can certainly see some haze out there. We anticipate the air quality to be a little less in the overnight period, but improving for tomorrow. But we've got some haze going on. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar shot here, keeping our eye definitely on this part of Saskatchewan. Down in central and southern Saskatchewan, there's not a lot going on, a little something brewing up and moving into Alberta, but this is what we're most concerned about in northern Saskatchewan. I'm going to show you those watches and warnings later. 27, 28 degrees in Saskatoon and Prince Albert, 26 in Battleford, so basically everybody around 27 degrees. The hot spot in the province, that was Val Marie today at 36 smoking degrees. Key Lake, the cold spot, at 11. Around the province we go. Currently it is 26 degrees in Lloydminster, 29 in Swift Current and Estevan, 28 in Yorkton, 30 in Regina, 31 in Moose Jaw. Into central parts of the province and the northern grain belt, you can see temperatures for the most part hanging around that 27 or 28 degree mark. It gets as warm as 29 right now, and that is in Hudson Bay. Up north, is it hot? Well, not super hot in the far north. Stony Rapids, they've had some rain, but that was earlier today at 16 degrees right now, 15 in Collins Bay, 22 in South End, 23 in Buffalo Narrows, but 31 degrees right now in La Ronge, 27 in Sandy Bay, Island Falls, and down south, a lot of places at 30 degrees or above. It's 33 right now in Maple Creek, 29 in Carlisle and Outlook and Last Mountain, 28 in Melville, 27 in Broadview. On to our futurecast. So you can certainly see all that nasty weather moving through Saskatchewan, quickly into Manitoba, and then into northern Ontario and the Hudson Bay area, James Bay initially. Yeah, well, actually most Hudson Bay before it hits James Bay. But ultimately not a lot in behind it. And as we take a look at what's going on right now, so we do have those severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for areas north of Meadow Lake. That includes La Ronge, Key Lake, Cree Lake. We've got ourselves up towards Reindeer Lake, I should say, and then those watch boxes that extend pretty much right across the prairies from Alberta into Manitoba, and heat warnings down in southern Saskatchewan for a second day in a row. Temperatures of 23 degrees in La Ronge, 19 in Stony Rapids, 18 in Key Lake, 25 in Buffalo Narrows. Temperatures in the high 20s, low 30s for tomorrow in west central Saskatchewan. In the low 30s or low to mid 30s for southwestern Saskatchewan. Maple Creek expected to be at 34 tomorrow. 28 in Yorkton, 31 in Regina, Moose Jaw, and Estevan, and temperatures in the high 20s for east central Saskatchewan on Friday. Dropping down to 15 degrees, some local smoke in the area in the Battleford. 29 tomorrow with a chance of showers. And then we've got ourselves 32 on Saturday, and then in the high 20s right through to next Thursday. For Prince Albert, an overnight number of 14, 27 tomorrow with a 30% chance of showers. Similar situation tonight, risk of a thunderstorm. And then the long-range forecast for the Gateway City, sunny and hot on Saturday. Sunday, a chance of showers and risk of a thunderstorm, and then temperatures basically around 27 for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And Saskatoon dropping down to 16 degrees. Air quality index, moderate risk tonight on around AQ number around 5. That improves to low risk tomorrow, mainly sunny skies, 29 degrees. And the outlook, it's gonna be hot. Daryl Anderson will be singing up a storm at Bud's on Broadway on Friday night. The music starts at 9:30.
Tell me, Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other thing.
Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan's 41st season is underway. This summer, the company offers a contemporary Julius Caesar and a swashbuckling version of the Bard's comedy, Much Ado About Nothing. The festival runs until August 23rd. Friday night, the Goddamsels are live on stage at Amigos. And on Saturday, Amigos welcomes this group. Horse Feathers, an indie folk or neo-folk band based in Portland, is on tour celebrating the 20th anniversary of their debut album, Words Are Dead.
He does whatever he wants.
You know, as long as I've known him, everything works for him.
Whenever he wants.
He's very cool.
And he never gets nailed.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is celebrating its 40th anniversary. 40 years? Yikes! Catch it at the Broadway Theater Saturday night at 7 o'clock. The start of the Saskatoon Fringe Festival is just around the corner. This indoor and outdoor arts and entertainment extravaganza gets underway on Thursday, July 30th.
All right, Jeff, a bonus photo of the day, I hear?
We do indeed. It's 4 pictures today. We're going to start off with this one. Is it from the planet Krypton? No, but there is a red sun there. Why? Because these pictures were taken yesterday morning at the Rostern Golf Course, and thanks to Glenn, yes, I suspect, well, we know that there was smoke in the air with that kind of a picture, so yes, indeed. Don Carrick, another Krypton photo. No, this one comes from the Watson area. I'm not sure which of the Carricks Don's a member of, but that's a fairly common name in the Watson area. He just says this was coming home from a Rider game a little while ago. He said we won, so I hope that's good news for bodes well for tonight, Don. From Mandy Rempel, she took this picture through her window and want to thank her dad Ewan for sending that in. There's a nice finch there. And finally, Carol Johnson from North Battleford, picture taken by Grandpa Bob at Lower Fishing Lake with our son Ken and his daughter Julia and dog Jada. Beautiful end to a beautiful day at the lake. That is a beautiful Saskatchewan shot there. So thank you for sending those in. And if you'd like to share an image with us, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca or scan the QR code on the screen to get those pictures to us.
Still to come on CTV News, thrill seekers have a new option. A look at the new ride that will throw you for a loop. Something new for thrill seekers at Canada's Wonderland in Vaughan, Ontario. A recently renovated roller coaster was unveiled today, featuring new trains and a new theme. Carol Charles has more on the running of the Daredeviler.
3, 2, 1.
It was an exciting moment for coaster fans as they rushed to be the first in line to ride the newest roller coaster.
Very excited.
The ride, formerly known as Flight Deck, has a brand new identity. It's now called the Daredeviler. Inspired by the high-flying stunt pilots and barnstorming air shows of the 1920s.
My goodness, are you excited for today?
Park officials say it's all about giving a classic ride a fresh new feel.
These new trains really make the guest experience much more comfortable and enjoyable. So as you're going around at 90 kilometers an hour, you'll feel the speed, and there's a little bit more open air for you as you're watching yourself on the ride.
And giving thrill seekers another reason to buckle up.
Smoother, it's so exciting. Like, you get to take everything in. It's mind-blowing. It's so great.
It was fast, fun, and amazing.
I think the refurbishment worked very well for what they were trying to go with.
Despite the many loops and sharp curves around the bend, many went back a second time.
Once was great, twice was whew. It was a lot. It was great. It was great. Worth the wait, for sure.
So much smoother, you don't bang your head anymore.
Would you go on it again?
Yes.
With the Daredeviler officially back on track, Canada's Wonderland is hoping a new generation of thrill seekers will be ready to take the ride. Carol Charles, CTV News.
When we come back, the riders get ready for their matchup against Edmonton. And later, when stepping inside to cool off takes on a whole new meaning.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan Festival presents a swashbuckling Much Ado About Nothing and a contemporary Julius Caesar this summer. You can catch these productions until August 23rd. Chariot Fest is set for this Sunday. It starts with a colorful chariot procession followed by cultural performances and a free vegetarian feast. Everyone is welcome. You can submit your community event by visiting our website and clicking on Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen. All right, let's take a look at the rural forecast for tomorrow. And this just in, it's going to be hot. Temperatures in the high 20s, low 30s for many locations. Lots of sunshine out there, so wear that sunscreen. Look at that, 27 degrees for Hudson Bay and Wynyard, making our way down south. Whoa. Temperatures at 30 degrees or hotter in most locations. The coolest it gets on this part of our map, that's 27 in Kenora. That's still pretty hot, and even 29 is warm there. But let's take a look and see what Elbow has going on. 30 degrees for Elbow on Friday, mainly sunny skies. It will feel like 33. There's still a little bit of humidity out there, and winds out of the northwest at 20. And once again, Elbow is one of those places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders will take on the Edmonton Elks tonight in a battle for first place in the West. But this game will carry some heaviness to it. The Riders will honor former teammate Jaden Dalkey and Rajana man Bhishma Rajaguru, who were both killed in a crash last weekend near Lumsden. RCMP said alcohol and cannabis were found in Dalkey's vehicle and that his SUV had left a gas station prior to the crash without payment being made. Riders quarterback Trevor Harris says this week has been hard, but the team will carry on tonight.
It's been a lot. It's, been quite a whirlwind of a week, as I'm sure everyone would understand. And, first and foremost, just thoughts and prayers out to Dalkeys and the other gentlemen whose life was taken. It's been a heavy week. But we also know we have a job to do, and we know what Jaden would like us to do. And as we've kind of alluded to all week, and there's been a great spirit about this team this week in terms of what we need to go out and do and accomplish. But we're playing a good football team.
More warm, dry conditions are keeping Saskatchewan crops developing as haying continues. The warmth and humidity is creating ideal conditions for disease, so many producers are applying fungicides and proactively spraying. Rain last week resulted in some localized flooding in the Bean Fate area where 126 millimeters fell. Fall cereals are closest to normal development after a late start, while oilseeds, spring cereals, and annual forages are further behind. More than half of Saskatchewan's hay crop is now cut, baled, or silaged. Turning to local gas prices now, the average price in Saskatoon is $1.76.5. The lowest price in town is up to $1.62.9. On Saskatchewan markets, Cameco finished the day at $1.25.87, and Nutrien was up 8 cents. Coming up, when daredevil stunts keep ballooning. Then a new creation that could be one way to keep cool.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here tonight at 7 with The Big Bang Theory. Well, one mountain bike rider is taking stunting to new heights.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Yes, that is a bike flying off of a hot air balloon. This is Elias from Austria. He has now become the first to ever ride a mountain bike on a hot air balloon. This took 2 years of practicing, prepping, and planning. I didn't even know that was an option.
So wait a second. So the stunt was I ride the bike to the edge of the hot air balloon, and then I
free fall into the sky.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly.
And
it worked, obviously.
I thought he was going to like James Bond and like get on the bike halfway down or something.
That's not enough for you?
Well, it's pretty good, but it's like
Jeff
I'm underwhelmed. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well maybe you'll be thrilled by this.
Maybe.
Temperatures in Japan have hit 40 degrees this summer, and the extreme heat has prompted a Tokyo company to create a unique way to cool off. This human-sized fridge invites people to step in, close the door, and just have a seat. The fridge will do the rest. It was designed for people who work outdoors, including construction workers and event staff. The cooling station is also part of Japan's ongoing efforts to reduce heat stroke deaths.
Now that is impressive.
That is.
Very cool.
I'm glad to see you've got control on the inside of it.
Yes. Well, yes, exactly. We don't want any tragedies in that respect. But yes, we've got ourselves some hot conditions. I want to bring you up to date on some of the watches and warnings still in place in parts of northern Saskatchewan. They changed around a little bit, but still some severe thunderstorm warnings and watches in place, along with the heat warning down in the southwest. And our numbers for Saskatoon tomorrow are going to be another hot day, not into the 30s, but about 28 or 29 mid-afternoon.
Thanks for watching.